Hello fellow space engineers, this is Marcelo from ACFM and Gaming, and today I want to do a little bit of a tutorial on projections and how to use them to reload your torpedoes. This issue was brought to my attention by the user Foxhound USMC, and he warned me that the missile racks that I published in the workshop had all misaligned projections, and that's bothering because I took a lot of time to make sure that those were aligned, but apparently they either get reset after you rebase them or you reload, or maybe after all the rotor upgrades, updates that we've been getting, uh, things have changed. But okay, that's besides the point right now. So let me show you how to set up a system that is going to help you, streamline the process when you have a large number of repetitive pieces like missiles or even why not drones or small fighters. Now the first thing that I like to do is in my blueprints I have these two, I call them central projectors, because I align the central pivot point to the projector itself, and I do this for self-repair, but it's also really useful as a pivot reset. And a projector is an ideal block for a pivot reset, because usually when you project something from a ship, they always come misaligned and you have to fiddle with the sliders and all that, and it's just such a chore. So I usually keep this and I place it in creative in all of my ships, so when I use them in survival I just have to select the projection and project it off it. And you can also do different configurations with it. For example, you blueprint, I paste the missile racks to my ship, then remove the ship itself, and the missile rack now has the pivot point of the ship, so I can use, in theory, the self-repair projector of the ship to project a new missile rack and build it off from it. You could do this, combining it with the rotor trick to have different payloads, like for different types of ammunition. But okay, let's begin. So what you do is you create a new small ship, and you see that the pivot point is the central pivot is right at the feet, at the toes of the landing leg. So you go on and you place a block so this grid doesn't disappear when you remove the landing gear. Then you place two more blocks like so, and you place your projector like this. Now this is the essential part. You want to make sure that your projector has this alignment: plus sign looking side with the blue line, minus a sign looking side offset block aligned with the green line. So those will be positive Y and positive Z, and positive X would be the red line. So you will be seeing at it like this, in some sort of a Cartesian plane. So anyway, blueprint that and name it something that you keep it on top of your blueprints. Now any kind of new build that you do, you should begin building it off this block, or you can just paste it on top of it. And that's what I do with the missiles. You can begin building your missile from whatever you want and just paste it on top of it. Now remember that you can make this work in survival also, but you have to have this preset, this whole setup done in creative first. So okay, let's take this away and show you an example. This is the template for my new torpedoes, and as you can see here, get it from every angle, the pivot point is aligned with the projector, And this piece right here should be the common piece between your missile and the pylon. Now then you can go on to remove this from the missile and just blueprint the missiles. The the pivot point will be kept. And let me show you. And now let's do the experiment. Let's blueprint this. It should be shown as missile 00. Blueprints. Where did it go? Huh. Anyways, I'll use the one that I already took. Murphy's Law. So you're gonna note that the grid pivot here is not the same. You know, the pivot point is set to the rotor head, which, like I said, is usually how rotors come. So if you place a new rotor, you're gonna see that it's gonna have that orientation, and that doesn't matter. What matters is, like, even in survival, when you build a new projector, the one that needs to keep the pivot point in place is the blueprint, and you know, those generally don't change. So you can place this, you know, in any grid you want that has any kind of weird placed pivot point, as long as the blueprint has a pivot point that coincides with the new projector that you placed, you should be fine. Now let's give you an example. I have turned on that projector there, so you notice all of the other ones are off for performance sake. So we're going to this and we're going to try to find the, I think it's called Projector Torpedo number 5. Blueprints, and go find. There's something wrong with my blueprints. Okay. Oh, there it was. So this is the one that we just took. And there you have it. It's aligned. Now the last thing that I want to say is that each one of these torpedoes is an individual unit in the way that they have naming conventions, and they begin with 01 and end with 20 for the new version of my destroyer. And to do this, the last step that I'm using here is well, in the template I have loaded Whiplash 141, his own renamer script, which looks like this. And what you do is it searches for the 00, or you know, the number that you input there, and then change it for the number that you want. So in this case we have Torpedo 00, we want to change it to 01. So always remember to do this, remember and exit. You run the code, and there you have it. It changed names. Now to do all the other 20, I mean all the other 19, what you have to do is just change it to, let's say we're on 17. Actually, let's do it in sequence, so it's easier. Let's not remember that. So now we have the torpedo has been named to 01, so we want to input 01 here, and then 02. Always remember and exit, and you run it, and it changes to 02. You know, after each one of these name changes, you have to blueprint the template. So you go into edit. Now we have 02. We need to switch them over again. Always remember and exit. Run it, and then so on and so on. So you wanna exit blueprint, then enter again, edit, change, remember and exit, run it, and then blueprint again. So, and that will give you the 20 or I don't know how many torpedoes that you want. So this is really useful. For example, if you have like a unified compatible munition between several ships or even fighters. So you know, I want to load torpedo number 1, which is the torpedo that I use for, I don't know, anti-large grid. Then you may want to use torpedo number, I don't know, 7, which is a decoy one. So this helps a lot. Keep it all, organized. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope you apply this knowledge which we have collected, and let me know how you do these kind of repetitive things. I'm taking pauses because it's tedious, and the more bored I am, the more likely I am to make mistakes, and then I have to like go back and re-blueprint the whole thing. So that's why it's taking me a little bit of time to, upload the new versions of these missile racks.